Dear students of class 8, hope you have understood the first, second and the third chapters. I hope you must have written down the notes and started studying and getting ready for the unit test also. Sure? So here I am with the fourth chapter, the Earthworm's Monologue. Elizabeth Jennings, who was an English poet who lived from the time between 1926 to 2001, is the writer of this poem. And this poem is a motivational poem which intends to make the readers aware of the importance of the tiniest creatures in the environment. Not only earthworm, every creation of God has some message for us. Even COVID-19, which has locked us inside, to has a message. Only if we are able to open our ears and eyes and closely listens, we would be able to understand what everything and everyone conveys to us. This poem teaches us that we must not feel low because of our poor body structure or any other weakness. God has made each one of us, you and me, unique. And we are all the creation of God. Our life is a gift of God. Whatever we have, whatever we are, it's a free gift of God. And God has created every one of us, everything in the world, with a definite purpose and a plan. As in this poem, the earthworm's duty is to fertile the soil, and it is a prey for the birds and fish. And the same way, everyone in the world is made or created for a definite purpose and a plan, and we must fulfill that plan and purpose of our life. Through this poem, Elizabeth intends to talk directly to the people who are insecure about their size, weakness, or something that they lack and others have. The poem clearly tells that we must not feel down because of anything we don't have, and rather we should be happy and grateful with whatever we have and whatever we are, and do our best in this world and make the world a better place to live. As the earthworm is a blessing to the soil, let us, through our very life, be a blessing to our family and to our society, to our nation, and to the world at large. So, shall we go through the lesson? You may first listen to me as I go read out the poem. Chapter 4, The Earthworm's Monologue. The word meaning of monologue, it's a soliloquy, self-talk, a long speech by one actor, maybe in the drama or in the movie. So here, the earthworm's monologue, you understood? It's not a dialogue in which two people are involved. Here, monologue, mono, single person, it's self-talk. Birds prey on me. Fish are fond of my flesh. My body is like a sausage. It lacks the snake's sinus splinter and color. Yes, I'm absurd. Yet, I also till and soften the soil. I prepare the way for the flowers. Spring depends upon me, at least a little. Mock me if you will. Cut me in half. I'll come together again. But haven't you felt a fool, hated your shape? Wanted to hide? If so, I'm your friend. I would sympathize with you were I not so busy. But bend down over me, you who are not yet tall. and be proud of all you contain in a body so small. Birds prey on me, fish are fond of my flesh. Now open your book and please go through. Birds prey on me, fish are fond of my flesh. My body is like a sausage, it lacks snakes, sinus, splinter, and color. Prey. The word meaning of prey is given in the textbook, an animal that is hunted or killed by another for food. So, the birds and the fish prey on this earthworm. They like the earthworm's flesh. My body is like a sausage, it lacks the snakes, sinus, splinter, and color. Sausage. Sausage means a food item in the form of a cylindrical length. I must have seen. So my body is like a sausage. It's in like a cylindrical form. It lacks snakes, sinus, splinter. Sinus means this having many curves and turns. So you can see the earthworm shape. Splinter. That is splinter means magnificent or splendid in appearance. So it's not like a snake. It does not have any color or a vigor or a beauty as of the snake. Yes, absurd. Absurd means illogical or inappropriate or widely unreasonable. That's the word meaning of absurd. So it does not have that beauty and vigor. But it says in the first three lines, the birds and the fish prey on the earthworm. So who are those two categories who prey on this earthworm? First, birds, and second, fish. Birds and fish prey on the earthworm. Now, the earthworm is telling it's not so beautiful in vigor and vitality or in color, shape, and size. It does not have snake's majestic appearance. Its body is like a sausage, it's cylindrical form with many curves and turns. But it says, "But I also till and soften the soil. I prepare the way for flowers. Spring depends upon me." See, yet I till and soften the soil. So, if you have watched in the paddy fields or in agriculture areas, we dig. Why do we dig until? To get the soil softened so that it becomes fertile and it gets air into the mud, and then it's preparing the ground for the cultivation. So the earthworm says the earthworm tills as it moves through the mud. It tills the ground and softens the soil as it makes the fertile. Thus, it makes the soil fertile and prepare the way for the flowers. And spring depends upon me. Now listen. First, in the first two lines, we heard that earthworm does not have any vigor, vitality, color, shape, nothing of that sort. But birds and fish prey on this earthworm. In the next three lines, we see, but the function of this earthworm in the ground, in the soil, is it tills and softens the soil, thus it makes fertile and prepares the way for the flowers. Clear? So spring depends upon me, even seasons depends upon me, at least a little. Mock me if you will, cuts me in half, I'll come together again. Mock me if you want to. Mock means laugh at, make fun of. So if you want to make fun of me, if you want to laugh at me, you may. Cut me in half, but I'll come together again. The next quality of this, the point of the earthworm is that if you make me fool or you laugh at me, but I don't mind. Next, cut me in half. Even if you cut my body in half, I'll come together. This is the quality of the earthworm. It does not die. If you cut the earthworm in two, it does not die. It again joins, so it has a life in itself. Okay. So that's the one of the rare qualities which in no other creatures have got. Only the earthworm has got. It will come whenever you cut into how many pieces, it will come together or it can survive. Cut me in half, I'll come together again. But haven't you felt a fool, hated your shape? So the earthworm is asking, have you ever felt like a fool, hating your shape? Wanted to hide? Want to hide? There are some people who always try to hide from others' sight, from the notice of the others. So, if so, I am your friend. If that is your case, I sympathize with you. I am your friend. I would sympathize with you. Were I not so busy, but bend down over me, you who are not at tall, and be proud of all you contain in a body so small. So the earthworm is telling, if you are feeling insecure about your size or your shape and wanted to hide from others, I'm your friend. Come to me. I would sympathize with you, feel sorry for you. Sympathize, the word meaning of sympathize is feel sorry or feeling along with you. Mm, I'm not that busy, but bend down over me, come down to me, you who are not at all. So, most probably, the earthworm is telling to a small child, and be proud of all you contain in a body so small. So, the earthworm tells the other that you must be proud of what you are, what you contain in a body so small. Never ever compare or feel low. This is what the earthworm is telling. Though the smallest creature, the tiniest creature of God, it has got so many functions. Can you? Do you remember what are the functions of this earthworm? What are the functions of the earthworm? It tills and softens the soil and thus makes the soil fertile and prepares the way for the flowers. That means it prepares the ground for the flowers, for the crops and the trees to grow. So who all prey on this earthworm? Birds and fish. Birds and fish prey on the earthworm. In the second stanza, in the second lines, the second and third line, the earthworm says that he does not have any vigor, vitality, but I do my function. Even if you mock me, even if you laugh at me, even if you cut me in half, I can come together. That is the quality of the earthworm. And earthworm is telling, if you are feeling insecure, if you feel inferiority complex, if you are afraid or not feeling good about your size and shape, I sympathize with you. And it says that be proud of all that you have in your body so small. So this is the poem, beautiful poem. So in the next video, I shall be telling you about the question answers and everything. So let us learn about the poet Elizabeth Jennings, who lived between 1926 to 2001. Was an English poet, and she published her first collection of poetry in 1953 and was famous for her consistent devotion to poetry. And Jennings wrote over 20 books on poetry, including new collected poems. As I was talking to you about the vocabularies, certain vocabularies are given here. Words to know: prey, sausage, shyness, splendor, and more. Prey means an animal that is hunted or killed by another for food. Prey. Lions, tiger, they all prey on the another small rats or other kinds of small animals. Sausage, a food item in the form of a cylindrical length. Sinus means having many curves and turns. Splendor, magnificent or splendid in appearance. Mock, laugh at or tease, laugh in a way to insult someone. So there was in between, there are 2-3 verses that was absurd. The word meaning of absurd was illogical or inappropriate. Clear? And which word you want to know? Sympathize, to feel sorry for. Sympathize, to feel sorry for or sorry with, to feel with someone. Good.